You're watching Open for Business with Jim Mackay, a business news show that brings you information about commerce and industry in the four corners. Open for Business is brought to you by First Southwest Bank. We can help you get there. First Southwest Bank.
Also brought to you by the La Plata County Economic Development Alliance. Pioneer Spirit, Business Smart.
Welcome to Open for Business. I'm Jim Mackay, back from a great vacation. Here are some highlights from this week's program. The Durango Business Improvement District plays candid camera with downtown shoppers, and we'll have a visit with Wayne Jeffries, Southwest Colorado's representative for Club 20, an advocacy group for Western Slope issues. First on Open for Business. You may not mistake the Durango La Plata County Airport for a terminal in a third world country, but it could sure use a makeover. And that makeover could cost more than $143 million. Jviation, the engineering and planning firm hired to conduct a news assessment study on the La Plata County Airport, released its initial findings in January. The study recommends that a new terminal and support facilities be constructed on property east of the current runway. The existing terminal west of the runway is hemmed in by deep drainages and can't be expanded to a size that will meet current customer traffic and future growth. The proposed new construction would handle passenger growth for several decades to come. As we reported in the December on Inside Durango TV, the La Plata County Airport is the fifth busiest airport in Colorado and generates a $328 million impact on the local economy. However, the airport was built 25 years ago, and right now the facility is about half the size it needs to adequately accommodate the 200,000 passengers a year that pass through its doors. And while it may not be a third world airport, it doesn't currently have the room to accommodate the additional amenities that people have asked for, such as Starbucks or Durango Joe's. The Durango La Plata County Airport is one of hundreds of airports across the country that needs an upgrade. Vice President Joe Biden spotlighted the investment gap earlier this month when he likened LaGuardia Airport in New York to that of a third world country. That soundbite drew national media attention. But in a 2012 economic impact study of the nation's infrastructure, the American Society of Civil Engineers said the country needs to invest $363 billion in airport infrastructure in the next 25 years to accommodate passenger and shipping growth. The Federal Aviation Administration predicts that employments nationwide are expected to grow 25% by 2020 and are expected to more than double in 25 years. If you do the math for La Plata County Airport, that means that employments could grow to more than 250,000 in the next 15 years and to more than 500,000 in 25 years. So who's going to pay for a new airport? Federal Aviation Administration and Colorado Department of Transportation grants will most likely cover 80% of the cost, leaving local governments and taxpayers to cover $40 million if the community decides to build a new facility. Piecemeal expansion of existing facilities is always an option. During the next 18 months, Jviation will work on an airport development master plan, including environmental assessments and growth projections. If you want to start your own business, you can fall flat on your face without sound planning and expert guidance. Fortunately, Durango has its very own mastermind to help small businesses succeed. That mastermind is Joe Keck, the Executive Director of Southwest Colorado Business Development Center. He recently was named the Economic Development Leader of the Year by the Region 9 Economic Development District. Region 9's Executive Director, Ed Moreland, told Open for Business that Keck received the award because he helped build the organization into the most productive small business development center in Colorado. The center's focus is built on its commitment to provide every client with personal support, Moreland added. In the February edition of the SBDC's local newsletter, the ever-humble Keck gave all the credit to his staff, the center's volunteer business advisors, and the community partnerships and resources that have been developed during his tenure as the center's executive director. Keck also said that he is fortunate to work in a job that he loves. So congratulations to Joe Keck and the staff and volunteers at the Southwest Colorado Small Business Development Center. If you would like to take advantage of the SBDC's team of experts, contact sbdcfortlewis.org. On January 1st, the minimum wage in Colorado increased to an even $8 an hour. But is that enough to live in Durango? It's a question that the newly formed La Plata County Thrive Living Wage Coalition is looking to answer. The group was born out of the 2008 La Plata County Youth and Family Master Plan, which recommended that the county, its multiple jurisdictions, service providers, employers, and employees work together to ensure that everyone residing in the county has the opportunity to earn a livable wage. However, a livable wage in the area is higher than $8 an hour. Each year, the Region 9 Economic Development District calculates the livable wage for each of the region's 5 counties. A livable wage is the amount of money it takes for one person working 40 hours a week to afford rent, groceries, health care, and transportation. The computed living wage for a Durango resident is $12.10 an hour, which is $4 an hour more than the new state minimum wage. In an interview with Open for Business, Coalition founder Greg Felsen said the group has researched different livable wages across the country. They've also identified towns that have passed ordinances to raise the wage to reflect the cost of living. Santa Fe is one of those communities. Santa Fe passed its local living wage law in 2003. It set an initial minimum wage of $8.50 an hour on January the 1st, 2004. Over the years, the wage has risen to reflect the rising cost of living. Minimum wage in Santa Fe is now $10.65. Felsen admits that the Living Wage Coalition here in town isn't looking to pass any ordinances just yet, but they are ready to educate the community on the concept and grow their core membership. For more information, contact Greg Felsen at 382-6460. During the next few editions of Open for Business, we'll highlight the outstanding businesses that were honored at the Durango Chamber of Commerce Durango Rocks Award Ceremony in January. First up is Ecosphere Environmental Services, recipient of the Business of the Year Award. In addition to the Chamber Award, Ecosphere was recognized by the Colorado Office of Economic Development and International Trade as one of 50 Colorado companies to watch in 2013, and as one of the top 3 finalists for Business of the Year in the services category. Ecosphere tackles tough environmental issues, helping developers, government agencies, and energy companies to make decisions that are both environmentally responsible and economically feasible. Ecosphere originally was founded in the early 1980s in Farmington, New Mexico, as a biological consulting firm. That's when Mike Fitzgerald joined the operation as a field biologist. Several years later, he purchased the company from its founders and brought with him a background in regulatory compliance expertise with the National Environmental Policy Act and Clean Water Act to expand the company's services. Given its market niche, Ecosphere is a company that often works on controversial projects. Ecosphere developed the wildlife, trails, and forestry plans for the Twin Buttes development west of Durango. They've worked on NEPA compliance for oil and gas development in the area. They've written a number of environmental assessments for coal and hard rock mining operations in New Mexico and Colorado. They're assisting with the master planning efforts to develop Mancos Shale resources in Colorado and New Mexico, and they're working on a similar master plan for continuing CO2 development in the Canyon of the Ancients National Monument. The company's goal is to offer the best, most environmentally sound, and regulatory compliant consulting advice possible, says Janet Wolf, Vice President.
You do have to remain objective. And the answer is, even if whether you consider yourself an environmentalist or not, the bottom line is, that what we do is help a lot of development in this area. But we know, as employees of Ecosphere, that we're giving the best environmentally sound advice that we possibly can. So we feel like we're doing the best job we can with our clients to make sure they make environmentally sound decisions. And so in that way, we can feel good about those kinds of developments.
The company has grown slowly from 4 to 43 scientists, and that slow growth was purposeful. Fitzgerald says he wants to create permanent positions for employees who stay in the community.
But I continue to maintain the same philosophy of I don't hire people just to help our bottom line for some workload that we have on hand at a given point in time, but it's to create a position that is going to be a long-term position so that the person that I hire for the position can put down some roots in the Durango community and start a family, and that's what I did here. So gratifying to be able to do that. And to me, it was more gratifying as a business owner to do that than necessarily me make a few more bucks by hiring and letting people go in order to have a certain bottom line.
Ecosphere scientists work out of offices in Farmington, Cortez, Pagosa Springs, and its headquarters in Durango. Senior staff are also in Santa Fe, Phoenix, Fort Collins, and Virginia. Projects take them to locations throughout the Four Corner States and the West. With all their expertise, what do Fitzgerald and Wolf see as the most pressing environmental issues in Southwest Colorado?
You can.
Air and water.
Air and water,
Those
yeah.
are the big ones. You know, we've only got a finite amount of water, and it seems like it's getting less all the time. Air emissions, there's been a lot of things happening in the region that kind of makes regional air quality ebb and flow in terms of improve and diminish over time. But it looks like the long-range prognosis on air quality is there's more stringent requirements out there. So I think from a regional standpoint, we'll see, I'm hoping that we'll see improved air quality in the region.
Coming up next, the Durango Business Improvement District plays Candid Camera.
I started working here when I first moved to town in 2003, and we were a consignment shop back in the day, and then through having the right people working here and being in the right community, our business grew to what it is today. My name is Gary Preventure, and my store is 2nd Avenue Sports, Durango, Colorado. My favorite part about our business is that we are still a mom and pop, locally owned, bike and ski shop, and these days those are kind of going away. There's a lot of corporate businesses that are coming in and buying up businesses like this. So I feel like the community of Durango is how our shop is able to survive, because people here care about buying locally, they care about who they do business with. It's important stuff to them. The owner of our building, our landlord, sold the building, and we were going to be out of a home. I was nervous, because we have a ton of inventory in here, as you can tell, and it would have been hard for us to find another spot. If we did find another spot, it wouldn't have been downtown, and it would have changed our business entirely. Sean Candelaria from First Southwest came over and said that they had bought this piece of property and that they didn't need the whole piece of land, and asked us if we would share the piece of land with them, and we were excited. Yeah, that was the third best day of my life. We were looking around town for another place to put our store, and this location has been really good to us. And we're 2nd Avenue Sports, so it's really hard to move any place other than 2nd Avenue. That's one thing about First Southwest Bank, is they took on this project and they divided this piece of property in half for not really any financial gain of their own. And that's not something I would suspect from a bank. We're going to own our own piece of land. So as a business owner, that's huge. I didn't think that would ever happen. I figured we would be renting our whole lives. And First Southwest Bank and Sean and Kent have definitely made it possible for us to buy our own piece of land. We appreciate First Southwest Bank because they are a smaller local bank for sure. The people who run that bank, they've become friends of ours. And they're just great people. We're very fortunate. As far as the future goes, I plan to work in this business for at least another 30 years, pay off my loans, and maybe kick it down to some of these younger guys working in here. I feel like we're living the dream around here. This is where I want to be, and this is what we like to do. The First Southwest Bank has really helped us keep the dream alive.
Watch more at durangotv.com.
Welcome back to Open for Business on Inside Durango TV. I'm Jim Mackay. The week of February 10th through the 14th was Random Acts of Kindness Week. Not to let an opportunity like that go by, the Durango Business Improvement District committed its own random acts of kindness by catching shoppers shopping locally.
We are out here today because it's Random Acts of Kindness Week. So Melissa and I have a bunch of gift cards, And we are rewarding people shopping in downtown Durango with a random act of kindness, one of these gift cards. We have 20 that we'll give away every day this week.
Yeah.
So we're about to go out and give some random acts of kindness away.
I'm Melissa with Bank of Colorado,
I'm Tim with the Business Improvement District.
and this week is National Random Acts of Kindness Week. So we are actually walking around with gift certificates from various places throughout our downtown businesses and doing random acts of kindness.
We just have one for you for being downtown. That's a gift certificate to Sirius, Texas. If your invisible friend would have been over here, she would
She might have got one too. What brings you? What brings you?
Random act of kindness.
Well, here, how about for Steamworks? We'd like to give you a gift certificate to Home Slice Pizza.
Oh, that's so kind of you. And I bank with Bank of Colorado.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
I just drove up from Shiprock. I'm a speech pathologist on the reservation that's out there.
Wonderful.
So.
Melissa has one.
Yes, I have one. Baskin Robbins. So here is a gift certificate to Zia. Yep. And one, yeah. So, yeah.
Appreciate y'all for being in downtown.
And where are you all from?
We are from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
All right. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you. Thanks for being in Durango.
Make sure you stop by there and enjoy it.
So yeah.
For you.
Here, Durango Coffee.
This is a gift card to Durango Coffee Company just for being in our downtown. Okay, get yourself a latte,
Yeah.
something good.
So what brings you to Durango?
I live here and I just love it here. I mean, we moved from Chicago, so I love the atmosphere here, and it's just so great outside. And
So nice today, right?
Yes. Beautiful out
What
today.
are you doing downtown today?
I was just gonna go downtown and get some coffee.
Well-
Oh, perfect.
Perfect. Go get one from Durango Coffee Company.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for being downtown. Bye, you too.
So it's National Random Acts of Kindness Week.
Excellent.
Melissa and I are just rewarding people for being in our downtown with gift certificates. So
So I would like to give you a gift certificate to Durango Coffee Company.
Well, thank
There
you.
you go.
that's our random act of kindness
Yep.
for you.
And that's very nice. Well, thank you so
You're very
much.
welcome.
And
So here's a gift card to Steaming Bean, which is right there.
Right there.
You guys want some
Yep.
coffee? And so we just appreciate y'all for being in our downtown. Thank you very much.
Here, I'll give you it. There, that way you have
What
two.
brings you down
Yeah,
here
what brings
today?
you downtown?
Maria's?
God bless you.
Bookstore.
Maria's and Cold Stone.
Do a little shopping. We'll go get a little coffee on your way.
We're just out and about, thanking folks for being in our downtown area, for shopping in the downtown area, and giving
Look.
out random
I have a
acts of
gift
kindness.
certificate for you to the pet house.
Hi there.
Buy something nice for your cute doggy.
Awesome. And it's National Acts of Kindness Week, and so we're out thanking people for being in our downtown area by giving away little gift certificates. So since you have a dog, we thought we would give you one to the pet house.
Oh, thank you. That is awesome.
Yes. Do you live here?
I do.
Okay.
Me too. I've met you before.
Yes.
My name's Missy Gosney.
Okay.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
met.
Oh, that's right.
And I know you too, Tim. Yeah.
Small town after all.
This is my son Quincy
Okay.
Quincy.
and our dog Gibbs. So Gibbs loves
Oh, wonderful.
What are
Well,
y'all doing
good.
downtown today?
We are actually buying a gift certificate to say thank you to somebody for something. And I just dropped off a case of Euphoria to Pine Needle because they got me a great pair of skis that I got to ski on yesterday. So
Doing your own
we're doing
act
our
of
kindness today
Yeah.
too.
We'll see it comes back around.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
great.
Right.
Thanks, you guys.
Awesome.
Thanks, Missy. Good to
Okay.
see you. All right,
good
bye.
day.
See you later. Yeah,
Well,
so
thank
it'll
you
be
for
fun.
your kindness, and I shall enjoy this to the
Thanks for
utmost.
being in downtown Durango.
Thank you.
Introducing the Southwest Colorado Winter Guide, a great source for information about restaurants, activities, entertainment, and winter events. Pick one up and get the inside scoop on what's going on. From Cortez to Durango, from Pagosa Springs to Silverton, and every interesting attraction along the way. The Southwest Colorado Winter Guide is a free publication of the Durango Herald, available all over town.
Welcome back to Open for Business. I'm Jim Mackay. We have Wayne Jeffries in our studio today to talk about Club 20, one of the oldest nonpartisan coalitions in the state, originally founded more than 60 years ago to lobby the state legislature for more funding for Western Slope roads. Club 20 calls itself the voice of the Western Slope. It advocates for issues that are of mutual concern to Colorado counties, municipalities, tribal governments, and businesses west of the Continental Divide. Thanks for joining us, Wayne.
Well, thank you for having me.
Good to have you. So, your organization, as we said, calls itself the voice of the Western Slope. Can you give us some examples of some recent successes that you guys have had and how they've benefited us over here on the Forgotten side?
Well, probably the most recent one is payments in lieu. We finally got some in the agricultural bill, the release of that money that basically comes to the county for services rendered on federal lands. Right now, the Platte County is approximately a third federal lands, and those are not taxed. And this helps the county pay for those services. Other things we're looking at is telecommunications. We're trying to get the definition of telecommunications changed from basically 2 copper wires to today's broadband and internet access. The definition, what we're trying to do is a lot of the money that is allocated for improving those communications is going to areas that really aren't or shouldn't be eligible for it. I guess an example would be Colorado Springs. Yes, at one point they were, you could say, an under provided. But what we're looking at is the Western Slope has a lot of areas that, yes, it has telephone, which is basic service, but we need to expand that area. We also go into everything like health care, which is one of the 10 committees that we have, and how we can work and understand how the new ACA, I believe it is, American Health, the health care bill, is going to affect Medicaid. We work from, I'd say, from Wyoming border to New Mexico over to Utah. We have Club 20 is 22 counties on the Western Slope. Basically, there's 20 counties and then there's 2 other counties which has more of the same beliefs that we do. Where we're different is that, yes, Denver and the I-25 corridor has the people, but we contribute a lot in severance tax, and we'd like to see some of that come back. We may not always agree, but when we go to talk to legislators and to our representatives, senators and congressmen, we go with a unified voice, and hopefully we can make a difference in there. So hopefully that helps a little bit.
Yeah, and you obviously play a very important role. It's a big geographical area. How do you guys communicate with each other? How do you structure it? You talked about 10 different committees that you had.
Well, right now, next week, there'll be 4 committees meeting, which is telecommunications, transportation, health, and workforce development, which is education. And if somebody has a concern, they can either come to the committees meetings as a member. As a member, you can speak. As a non-member, you can come and observe. Basically, you bring in your concerns and tell them what we have problems with as a resolution, and get those resolutions to through the committee. Sometimes it's not a fast process, but we hash out the differences, and once we have a resolution passed, then it'll go to the board of directors, which meets twice a year. If it's something that has to be done right now, it go to the executive board. But most of the time we have some kind of resolution if it's real urgent, and we can have our executive secretary, Bonnie, talk to our representatives statewide, and if we need to, we talk to our congressmen and senators to try to advocate to get our fair share, to be at a reasonable payback, I guess, would be the word for it.
Good. You mentioned members and non-members. How do you become a member?
Well, we have Eggs and Issues, which is in Durango, and that'll be coming up. And you can come hear what each of the committees are going to do. And if you want to, you can call the Club 20, or go to our website, which is club20.org, and look through and see if any of those committees work for you. Come to our meeting, our committee meeting. Next week is like I say, those 4. The following week we have what I call the harder sciences, which are natural resources, public lands, water, ag, business affairs, and those have a different set of value. I say values, but basically interest. Come to those meetings. You can become a member by doing it online. If you want to, you can call up at our office, and they'll send you an application. And we can, I believe it's for individuals, $100. If it's a business, that rate goes up until you have the corporate members, which I believe are $3,000. But it doesn't give you more of a say, excuse me, more of a say by being a corporate member, but you can have more of your people come and participate in our actions, and we appreciate the support.
Sounds good. Well, hey, I want to thank you and Club 20 for all the work that you do on our behalf, and thank you very much for being on the show today.
All right, thanks, sir.
Okay, coming up next, business updates. Welcome back to Open for Business. I'm Jim Mackay, and here are your February updates. If you're a local farmer who would like to sell produce to area schools as part of the Farm to Schools program, bids are now being accepted for the 2014-2015 school year. Food service programs in Durango, Bayfield, Ignacio, Mancos, and Cortez are seeking produce from local farmers. Bids are due by 2 p.m. on Tuesday, February the 18th. All bid documents and procedures are available on the Durango School District website at durangoschools.org. The Durango Public Library will offer a free workshop on how to use the library's research tools to build your business plan on Wednesday, February 19th. It starts at 8:30 a.m. in room 2 at the library. The workshop is free. Bring your laptop for hands-on assistance. Registration is required. Visit the library's website at durangopubliclibrary.org for more information. This month's Business After Hours will be on Friday, February the 21st at Advantage Physical Therapy and Wellness at the 3600 block of Main Avenue. The popular Durango Chamber of Commerce networking event begins at 5 p.m. Cost is $7 for chamber members and their guests. For more information, visit the Chamber's website at durangobusiness.org. If you're still trying to figure out whether you should use Facebook as part of your business marketing strategies, here's your chance to learn more. Lindsay Nyquist, the social media coordinator for Fort Lewis College, will lead the Durango Chamber's next Lunch and Learn class on Facebook for business. The class begins at noon on Wednesday, February 26th at the First National Bank of Durango. Lindsay will review successful Facebook fan pages, help you create a social media strategy for your business, and she'll cover best practices for posts, engaging customers, and monitoring your brand. She'll also cover whether Facebook ads are useful tools to reach your target market. Reservations are required. Call 247-0312 or make reservations at durangobusiness.org. Are you new to the Durango Chamber of Commerce? You can find out more about the benefits available to you as a chamber member at the Member Benefit Boot Camp on Thursday, February 27th. This free event starts at 8:30 a.m. in the La Plata Electric Association conference room. The boot camp will cover free benefits such as job postings, coupon postings, reference USA data mining, and other tools available through the Chamber. Reservations are required. Log on to durangobusiness.org for more information. Well, that's it for this edition of Open for Business. Remember, you can also download copies of this program on our website at durangotv.com. Join us for our next program on February the 27th and learn about the fishy business of trout farming. I'm Jim Mackay. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching Open for Business. Tune in every week with Jim Mackay for information about commerce and industry in the Four Corners. Open for Business has been brought to you by First Southwest Bank. We can help you get there. First Southwest Bank.
And by the La Plata County Economic Development Alliance, Pioneer Spirit, Business Spark.